Today we're going to be covering some powerful fragrances that you absolutely need to have in your collection. And these to me are no-brainers. If you're someone who is into high performance scents, you're going to want to look into these for real. These get the job done. Great projection, great longevity. If that's what you're after, then these are really going to deliver on that. But also, they're really good just on their own. You know, obviously the point of this video is to look for things that do excel in that category, but these still smell fantastic. They still exhibit great quality. They have great blends, just great fragrances all around, and pretty much all of these do have a pretty good degree of mass appeal. So they just win on all fronts. I'll drop some links to these down below if you want to grab them for yourself. And I think we should get things kicked off with what is to me a very obvious one. It's one of the newer kids on the block. It's been out for a few years now, but it just completely took off. SAUVAGE ELIXIR. And there's quite a few clones now. So if you don't want to pay this type of money, you can get Lattafa Assad. That's a great one. That's like $22, $25. This is $140 to $150 on discounters. So definitely a big price difference. And even for what it's worth, Assad has pretty solid performance as well. Not quite to the level of this one, but definitely more than enough. But just for this video, I wanted to go ahead and feature the real deal. This is kind of course, where this DNA originated from. And again, when we're talking performance, it is a complete madhouse of a scent. So it has a whole bunch of warm spices, licorice, cinnamon. There's a little bit of kind of a sandalwood creamy base. There's a lot of lavender in here as well, so it's aromatic, it's warm spicy, it's woody. It's very different compared to the other SAUVAGE scents. And so because of that, it stands out in a way that it's a little bit more masculine and a little bit more mature. But it definitely does really step up the performance here. And that's not saying that the other SAUVAGE flankers were poor performers, because they're actually all really good, but this one is the best performing of the line. It's crazy stuff. Next up we have BRIONI Eau de Parfum Intense. Talked about this one quite a bit here on the channel because I think it's really good. Not only does it have great performance, but it has a nice unique blend. So you've got some tangerine, some apple, some oud, some patchouli. So it has a little bit of a fruity orange going on. And you're getting some warm oud. You're getting a nice kind of slightly sweet, almost chocolatey patchouli smell, which is quite interesting. So it's kind of a blend and a mixture of different notes going on for sure. And it still ties back to the original BRIONI Eau de Parfum a little bit to me. Not fully, it does have a little bit of that kind of fresh ozonic smell in the base, but all of the other notes do take precedent here. So I think this is a true flanker well done. It's tying back to that original a little bit, but then kind of implementing its own spin on that DNA. Eau de Parfum Intense Concentration obviously has great performance. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera Iris Empire. Now, this one, besides the iris, has a lot of dark chocolate. You've got some patchouli in here. You also have a fantastic leather accord. So I've always described this one as smelling like a mixture between the popular sweet iris scents, DHP, VUI, and then some CH Men Privé from that leather. And even this almost even has a very slight kind of whiskey accord off the top, similar to what CH Men Privé has, but the leather is spot on. And it kind of makes sense. I'm sure they borrowed that from that certain composition there and then did their own spin on the iris genre. I absolutely love this stuff. I mean, it is up there very, very high as one of my favorite iris scents just because of that combination. It is unlike all of the others on the market. And while it does kind of go back to some of them and maybe draw inspiration, the way that this one's composed, it is crazy how good and how interesting and how different this one still manages to be. And also it has fantastic performance. All of the ones in this confidential line have been incredibly high quality, very unique, great blends, and great performance across the board. Great line to check out. Next up we have AFNAN 9 PM. The easiest way to put this one is it's an ultra male clone. So you get some of that pear, the vanilla, the lavender, the tonka bean, all of that sweetness, right? But that's just what makes it unique. Technically with this one, they're not using a pear. They're kind of using, I think it's an apple or something, but it still very much does give a very, very similar smell, and structure to Ultramale itself. Very much a clone and a really good one. And similar to Ultramale, it also has great performance, 9PM does. This is one that you can get for, what is it, $37, maybe $40, somewhere around in that range, which is about half the price of Ultramale. The presentation also is very nice. Nice heavy bottle and cap, really well done. And I've said this before, but it also doesn't really have the clone bottle look that a lot of people, myself included, don't really care for. So this actually looks pretty nice and presentable sitting on your shelf. It does kind of blend in with everything else. L'Homme Ideal Extreme by Guerlain. Man, this is one of my favorites. Plum, almond, vanilla, tonka bean, some leather. I love this stuff. So good. And I love the Eau de Parfum. To be fair, the whole line is incredible. They take almond and just do it to the next level, and of course built a whole line around that signature almond accord, and I'm glad they did. So, you know, I always recommend you guys to dive in and try as many of them as you can. For me personally, the Extreme is my favorite out of all of them. And I do own all of them, of course, so I've worn all of them, I've tried all of them. I always go back to the Extreme the most. But don't get me wrong, the Eau de Parfum, the new Platine Privé, like those summer versions are very good, but this plum, tobacco, almond mixture is super unique. It just, I don't know, there's something about it that's captivating, and what makes it even better is the performance on this one is incredible as well. You can pretty much get this one on discounters regularly now. There was a point where it was always sold out, not so much anymore, which is fantastic. And this falls for right around $100. Very reasonable, worth every penny. SEDLEY by Parfums de Marly really does do a great job in the performance department. It does very well. This is going to be one of my favorite summer versions from them. It's got a lot of bergamot, some apple, ambroxan, lavender, sage, all of the aromatics, right? Kind of goes in that category. The citrus aromatic blue fragrance type of thing is essentially kind of how I would describe it. But it also is so much more. For me, what stands out the most is how everything is blended together. You know, you don't have anything fighting for space to break through. Nothing is muddled. Nothing is clustered together. It's very smooth from the opening all the way into the dry down. And the quality is also great. You know, you're paying a little bit more for this one. It does come with a premium, but you get great quality from it. If this is still just not something you're interested in spending the money on, check out Lattafa Mahir Legacy for about $37. I've done a video on it. Fantastic clone of this. But again, for this video, I just figured I would go ahead and feature this one. I already did a clone earlier, that AFNAN, so we'll just kind of try to shuffle it up here. But there's options for you guys with most of these. Looking now, there's pretty much clones of about all of these, so you can go that direction too. Last up, SPICEBOMB Extreme. You know, we're getting close to that time of year, which sounds weird, but it comes up pretty quick. Soon as really fall comes around, I do start to work this one in. However, like I've said before, it is the Thanksgiving, Christmas portion of that winter period there, that month or so, a couple months, that I really wear this one the most because it does smell like the holidays to me. And that's kind of when I like to really, really wear this one a lot. After that, it gets shelved a little bit more to make room for some other stuff. And again, in fall leading up to that, I just can't help myself because I think about this stuff and miss it over summer every year. It's got tobacco, black pepper, vanilla. It's a beautiful designer tobacco. SPICEBOMB DNA, but much better. The best in the line and great performance. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. Some powerful fragrances that I think every guy should own. Links will be down below, and also deals, big sales, everything like that is going to be going out to my mailing list and my texting list. You can jump on those at the link and number down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.